sometimes feel like a pushover doing gentle parenting. That's how I used to feel 9 years ago, and today I'm going to share with you the ugly truth of gentle parenting. And it is not that I'm against gentle parenting. Matter of fact, my name is Marcela Collier. I'm a parenting coach that teaches gentle parenting, parenting with understanding. But one thing is wanting to be a gentle parent. Another thing is knowing how to raise your children with gentleness but effective. If you want to learn more about this topic, I encourage you to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, because every week I release a new video on gentle parenting, parenting with understanding. 9 years ago, when I discovered gentle parenting, I didn't have the twins, but I was doing foster care. I didn't have to raise them with the strategies that my parents applied on me. They shut up, go to your room right now, I don't want to see you right now, spanking. I didn't want to raise them from that kind of harshness and fear. I wanted to provide a safe environment for them to thrive. And I was obsessing over gentle parenting. I remember reading a lot of things online, and everything that I read felt like it was just a don't do. Don't spank, don't time out, don't take things away, don't ignore. Everything was a don't, which at times it left me feeling, what am I supposed to do instead? Give me a thumbs up if you felt that way. It was a parent-teacher conference, and I had a child in foster care. He was 8 years old. I still remember we entered the room and the teacher was sitting on the corner, and then on his face, he looked like he needed to tell me something, that something wasn't quite there positive. We sat down, my child in foster care, he barely entered the room. He sat down next to us, but he looked really uneasy. And then just the atmosphere, you know, when you feel that there is something on the air, but you still don't know what that is, that's how it felt. As the teacher started talking, and he seemed to me that he was kind of venting about my child in front of him. This teacher asked me a question, and as I was answering, my child came to me and said, "Shut up," and he left. At that moment, the teacher looked at me. We looked at each other like, what did just happen here? How would you feel if your child told you to shut up in the middle of a parent-teacher conference? Exactly. That's how I felt. And I started bouncing in my head the things that I was going to do, the things that I was going to say when we get to the car. And in my head, it seemed to me that I just had to measure everything that would come out of my mouth to be in compliance with gentle parenting. Have you felt that way? We got to the car and I felt like I just couldn't find the words to explain that. I felt disrespected. I felt that I needed to draw a boundary, that was a moment for discipline, but I didn't know how to approach it. Things started to bounce in my head. Did my gentle parenting cause that behavior? That was the story that I started telling myself. Now, I got home, and then because I was marinating that in my head, when we got home, I looked at him and I said, "You do not talk to me that way." And then he yelled at my face and ran to his bedroom and slammed the door. What did happen there? Gentle doesn't work, being more stern doesn't work. So what is the middle ground there? Are you constantly looking for that middle ground? That middle ground of gentleness and firmness. I used to think that finding that middle ground was the answer to fix my parenting. And I was wrong. Before you tune out, bear with me. Because in 2013, I started my therapeutic training. I've been providing therapeutic services for children in the foster care system for many years now. This story happened 2012, so that was a long time ago. And in those trainings, I would never forget, one day we were learning about the root of behavior. I still remember that voice telling me, every behavior is communication. And I started seeing behavior as a way of communication, and everything started to fall in place up to a certain point, because I had the awareness, but I didn't have the understanding yet. Next time when my child responded the same, similarly to the way he responded in that parent-teacher conference, instead of me feeling like he's disrespecting me and everything about me, I was looking at him. What is he communicating to me? The teacher is venting to me about him. How intimidating that is. Plus the fact that I'm not even his bio parent, I'm not even his bio mom. So the trust factor is not all the way there. He was surviving that moment, and that was his stress response. I started seeing those behaviors through other lenses, through my parenting with awareness lenses, but I didn't have understanding. My children in foster care did things that threw me off all the time. And I knew that they were communicating something, but I didn't know exactly what that was. Is that the point where you are at? Let me know. I continued my training and everything was clearer and clearer. To me, it's hard to pronounce that word as a second language speaker. Because I started learning that not just behavior is communication, but that children have different needs. And those behaviors are looking to meet one of those needs. Children have 5 basic needs. And when I gained the skill to know what the need was, that feeling that gentle parenting might have been too gentle for my child faded away, because I knew that it wasn't about my demeanor, it was about my ability or inability to know what the need that the behavior communicate is. I used to raise my voice thinking that that was going to fix the behavior, and instead I got a child that got even more upset and went and slammed the door. Because being harder with kids, yelling at kids, does not meet needs. Even being gentle does not meet needs if you don't know what the need exactly is. I learned behavior curve. I learned about behavior levels, and that before a tantrum there are 3 other behavior levels that if I learn to recognize them and know how to address them, my children would not have to get to yelling on all the acting out behaviors that I saw. That was understanding. I started to understand their behaviors and their needs. And that's when everything started to change for me. And more importantly, I started to understand how to communicate to them. Not just in kindness, which is very important, but effectively. Kindness alone is not going to improve behavior. And that's why I was a permissive, gentle parent back in the day. Because I knew kindness, but I didn't know behavior intervention, how to modify behavior with understanding. And that's exactly what I teach. That's what I call parenting with understanding. It is the missing piece of gentle parenting. And I teach it in High Impact Club, which is a parenting education online platform, highimpactclub.com. There I provide digital guides, workshops, the Parenting with Understanding program. All the products and services that you see there are geared towards equipping you with the understanding that you're lacking right now. You have gentleness, but you need understanding to be effective. Do you want to gain that understanding? If yes, I encourage you to go there. highimpactclub.com. I'm going to leave the link down below. Next week, or if you're watching in the future, from March 22nd to March 26th, I'm running a big sale, the biggest sale of the year. It is a bundle sale. For your order of 3 and plus products, you get a 40% discount just for this week. If you want to gain all the skills to make this gentle parenting work so you raise your children with confidence, without shame and guilt, then this is your opportunity to piggyback 9+ years of therapeutic experience and knowledge, so you don't have to learn it the hard way, which is experience. It only takes understanding to transform your parenting. But what about when children just don't listen? There are two things that are very important for you to understand so your children listen. Remember, understanding is the key. It's not what you do, it's how you understand your children, so you know what to do, so you know what they need. I created a video about those two things that you need. That video is right here. I'll see you there, and keep parenting your children with understanding. Bye.